Have you ever felt the sting of someone's words cut deeper than any wound? Maybe it was a friend's betrayal, a stranger's insult, or the cold silence of being misunderstood. In those moments, your heart races, your mind spirals, and you wonder, why does this hurt so much? Most people spend their entire lives at the mercy of their emotions, tossed around by every criticism, every rejection, every storm of chaos that life throws their way. They never learn how to build true protection, never discover the ancient wisdom that could make them unbreakable. But you're not most people. You're here because you sense there's a better way, a way to become untouchable, no matter what. The world hurls at you. By the end of this video, you'll know the 7 Stoic rules that have helped warriors, emperors, and survivors throughout history to stand strong in the face of any emotional attack. If you're ready to stop being a victim of your feelings and start mastering them, keep watching. This is the beginning of your transformation. We live in a world that often labels sensitivity as weakness. If you feel deeply, you're told to toughen up. If you care, you're warned you'll get hurt. But what if everything you've been told about vulnerability is wrong? The Stoics saw things differently. To them, feeling pain wasn't a sign of fragility. It was a sign you were alive, awake, and capable of growth. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic teachers, said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In other words, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. The Stoic doesn't run from discomfort or try to numb it. Instead, they use it as a forge, a place where character is shaped and strength is born. Imagine a blacksmith hammering raw iron into a sword. The heat, the blows, the pressure, these are not punishments, but the very process that transforms something ordinary into something extraordinary. Your emotional pain is the same. Every insult, every betrayal, every moment of feeling misunderstood is an opportunity to practice resilience, to choose your response, and to grow stronger. The Stoics believed that the world cannot truly harm you unless you allow it to. Vulnerability, then, is not a flaw to hide, but a doorway to mastery. When you stop fearing your feelings and start using them as training, you become less like a fragile vase and more like tempered steel, capable of withstanding anything. This is the heart of Stoic wisdom. Your power lies not in avoiding pain, but in transforming it. Picture this. You receive a harsh criticism at work, or a friend makes a careless remark that stings. Most people react on instinct. The ordinary response is immediate. Anger flares, words are fired back, or silence falls as resentment simmers beneath the surface. Some replay the moment over and over, letting it gnaw at their peace, fueling self-doubt and anxiety. This is the common path. To be ruled by emotion, to let every slight or setback dictate your mood and self-worth. Now, imagine the Stoic response. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, faced betrayal, slander, and immense pressure daily. Yet, he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The Stoic doesn't deny the sting of criticism, but they pause, they breathe. Instead of reacting, they reflect. Is this within my control? Does this define me? They choose their response with intention, not impulse. Where most people are tossed by every wave, the Stoic stands like a rock in the surf, calm, measured, unshakable. They see every emotional trigger as a test, not a threat. The difference is not in what happens, but in how you meet it. The ordinary path is chaos. The Stoic path is clarity. In a world that rewards outrage and overreaction, the Stoics' quiet strength is rare, and it's what sets them apart. The first rule is simple but life-changing. Control the controllables. The Stoics taught that most of our suffering comes from trying to control what we cannot. Epictetus said, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." When you waste energy on other people's opinions, the past, or the unpredictable future, you hand over your peace. Instead, focus on your own actions, thoughts, and responses. Imagine you're blamed for something at work that wasn't your fault. The ordinary response is to obsess over what others think, to replay the injustice, to stew in frustration. The Stoic response: ask, what can I actually control here? You can control your integrity, your effort, your words. You can't control gossip or the judgments of others. By letting go of what's outside your power, you reclaim your energy and clarity. This rule is your shield. When chaos swirls around you, remind yourself, I control my mind, my choices, my attitude. The rest is not mine to carry. This isn't passivity, it's power. It's the discipline to focus on your sphere of influence and let the rest fall away. The more you practice this, the less the world can shake you. I focus on what I can control and release what I cannot. The second rule is to practice voluntary discomfort. Seneca wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, is this the condition that I feared?" The Stoics believed that by choosing discomfort on your own terms, you become less vulnerable to the discomforts life throws at you. Think of it like training for a storm before it arrives. Maybe you take cold showers, fast for a day, or walk instead of drive. Maybe you deliberately face a fear, public speaking, difficult conversations, or solitude. Each time you step into discomfort willingly, you prove to yourself that you can handle more than you think. In a world obsessed with comfort and convenience, most people are caught off guard when adversity strikes. The Stoic is ready. They've trained their mind and body to endure, to adapt, to remain calm when others panic. Voluntary discomfort isn't about suffering for its own sake. It's about building resilience, so you're not ruled by fear or surprise. I choose discomfort now, so I am unshaken when life chooses it for me. The third rule is to master the pause. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." The Stoic knows that between stimulus and response, there is a space, a pause where you can choose your reaction. Imagine someone insults you in public. The knee-jerk reaction is to snap back, defend yourself, or retreat in shame. But the Stoic pauses. In that brief moment, they ask, is this worth my peace? Is this about me or about them? By mastering the pause, you gain the power to respond with intention, not impulse. This rule is your emotional circuit breaker. It stops the chain reaction of anger, anxiety, or regret before it starts. The pause is where you reclaim your freedom from automatic habits and choose a response that aligns with your values. It's not about suppressing emotion, but about directing it wisely. Practice this. When triggered, take a breath. Count to 3. Ask yourself what a wise person would do. Over time, this pause becomes your superpower. I pause, reflect, and choose my response with wisdom. The 4th rule is to expect, don't assume. The Stoics taught that much of our pain comes from false assumptions, expecting people to act a certain way, assuming life will be fair, or believing things will always go as planned. Marcus Aurelius advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Picture this. You help a friend, and they don't thank you. The ordinary mind assumes ingratitude, feels hurt, and builds resentment. The Stoic mind expects that people are imperfect, that life is unpredictable, and that disappointment is part of the human experience. By expecting challenges, you're not caught off guard or wounded by them. This rule is about realistic preparation, not pessimism. It's about meeting life as it is, not as you wish it to be. When you expect difficulties, you're ready for them. When you stop assuming the world owes you comfort or fairness, you become immune to many of its slights. I expect challenges and meet them with calm acceptance. The 5th rule is to turn insults into insight. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." The Stoic sees every insult, criticism, or slight as a chance to learn about themselves, about others, about the world. Imagine someone calls you weak or foolish. The ordinary response is to defend, attack, or internalize the insult. The Stoic, however, asks, "Is there truth here? If so, I can improve. If not, why should I care?" This mindset turns every attack into an opportunity for growth or a chance to practice indifference. This rule is about using adversity as a mirror. Sometimes, criticism reveals a blind spot. Other times, it reveals more about the critic than about you. Either way, you win, you grow, or you remain unbothered. The Stoic is not immune to pain, but they are immune to being defined by others. I use criticism as a tool for growth, not a weapon against myself. The 6th rule is to choose your company wisely. Epictetus warned, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." The people you surround yourself with shape your thoughts, your habits, and your emotional climate. Asterisk. Think about the last time you spent hours with someone negative, anxious, or angry. Did you leave feeling drained, on edge, or doubting yourself? Now recall a time you were with someone calm, wise, or encouraging. The difference is profound. The Stoic is intentional about their circle. They seek out those who embody the virtues. They admire courage, wisdom, self-control, and limit time with those who pull them into drama or negativity. Asterisk, this rule is not about arrogance or isolation. It's about protecting your inner peace and investing in relationships that help you grow. You become like the people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely, and you build a fortress of support around your emotional core. Asterisk, I choose relationships that strengthen my character and peace. The 7th rule is to remember the view from above. Marcus Aurelius often practiced a mental exercise, imagining himself looking down on his life from high above, seeing the bigger picture. He wrote, "Look down from above on the countless gatherings and countless ceremonies, and every sort of voyage in storm and calm. and every sort of birth, union, and death. Asterisk, when you're caught in the heat of emotion, everything feels urgent and overwhelming. But when you zoom out, when you see your problems in the context of your whole life, or even the vastness of history, they shrink. The Stoic uses this perspective to break the spell of anxiety, anger, or despair. Asterisk, imagine your current struggle as a single frame in a long movie. Will it matter in a year? In 10? From the view above, you see that most things are small, temporary, and not worth losing your peace over. This rule is about perspective, about remembering that you are more than this moment, and that serenity comes from seeing the whole, not just the part. I rise above my problems and see life with clarity and calm. Now that you know the 7 Stoic rules, it's time to put them into practice and start building your emotional fortress, brick by brick, day by day. Here's a simple daily exercise to help you internalize these principles and make them part of your life. Asterisk. Step 1. Morning reflection. Asterisk. Each morning, take 5 minutes to review the 7 rules. Write them down in your journal or on a note card. Choose one rule to focus on for the day. For example, if you picked master the pause, set the intention to pause before reacting to any emotional trigger. Asterisk. Step 2. Real-world application. Asterisk. As you go through your day, look for opportunities to apply your chosen rule. When you feel irritation, disappointment, or anxiety, pause and ask yourself, which Stoic rule applies here? This conscious awareness is the foundation of self-mastery. Step 3. Evening review at night. Spend a few minutes journaling about your experiences. Did you remember to pause? Did you control the controllables? Where did you struggle, and where did you succeed? Be honest, but also compassionate with yourself. Growth is a process. Step 4. Weekly deep dive, once a week. Pick one rule and explore it deeply. Read a Stoic quote, write about a time you used the rule, or discuss it with a friend. The more you reflect, the stronger your emotional fortress becomes. Asterisk. By making these steps a habit, you'll find yourself less shaken by life's storms and more anchored in calm, clarity, and strength. Your emotional fortress is built through daily practice. Start today. Asterisk. Remember, emotional invincibility isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, one choice at a time. Every moment of pain, every insult, every disappointment is a stone you can use to fortify your inner walls. The world will always test you, but you are not here to be broken. You are here to become unshakable. The Stoics didn't escape hardship, they transformed it. So can you. With each rule you practice, you move from victim to victor, from fragile to forged. Your scars become your armor, your setbacks your training ground. This is the path of the wise, to meet life's chaos with calm, to turn wounds into wisdom, and to rise above what once held you down. You are not at the mercy of your emotions. You are the master. Keep building. Your fortress is already taking shape. Asterisk. Which Stoic rule will you practice first? Share your choice or your own story in the comments below. Don't let another day go by without building your emotional armor. Subscribe for more Stoic wisdom and join a community of people turning pain into power. Your journey to strength starts now.